People are asking me whether or not I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. And I would like to just clarify that I am more bullish than ever on Bitcoin. You do not sell your Bitcoin.
GM, and welcome to 30,000 United States dollars per Bitcoin. So today we have Bitcoin breaking out in a big way, and we've also got the Litecoin halving, a bit of a countdown towards that as well, as it's something always noteworthy in the calendar, the kind of prelude to the main event, the Bitcoin halving in 2024. If you enjoy the content today, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So we're starting off here with the Gaussian channel. So this is the Gaussian channel you can see on screen. You can add this over on TradingView by typing in GCDW in the indicators tab, and this is the one that Eric Crown has been using for analysis here, stating that once we get a closure above the mean band, which is the middle of this here, we typically get a free ride to the top of this. Now his analysis has been spot on in the face of a lot of adversity in the last week, many big accounts being short, being bearish. He stuck to his guns. He said, look, these are the statistics, these are the probabilities. Typically we get a free ride to the top, which is around $32,000, and this is starting to come into fruition now. So hats off to Eric, great analysis, and has kept us long and strong throughout this period here. So if we just take this indicator off, and I'll drop this down to a daily time frame as well. So what we can see from this here is that we've just bashed into this kind of weekly resistance area and broken through it for the first time. So many touches of this kind of weekly resistance area, there would have been a lot of selling and exchanging of Bitcoin in this region. But we've had this kind of upward pressure tapping into the supply yet and yet again, over and over, and it did weaken it to the point where last night it started to break through. And as I woke up today, Bitcoin above $30,000 and now to $30,140. So you can see the monthly resistance is the yellow line up here. 34,000 bucks is the next territory. So Gaussian channel at 32K, the top of that, and then the next monthly resistance will be at around 34K. So these are the kind of target ranges to be looking at over the next week to 10 days potentially. Now there is a pivot on price as well that Eric pointed out earlier, that Bitcoin needs to maintain around 29.1K. So I think it's around this kind of wick here. So I'll add that blue line to the chart. If we do start to get closures, maybe on a 4-hourly basis below that level, we're going to re-enter that kind of previous range around those weekly resistances and start to play ball in here yet again. We of course spent many weeks in this range. So above here, we're looking bullish, but a closure below, we're starting to look back into this range yet again. Now, how is the market positioned right about now? This is the long to short ratio currently on a 5-minute time frame. A lot of shorts piling in right now, with obviously Bitcoin spiking up above $30,000. People aggressively trying to short this market, trying to catch the top and get some nice profits there. But this will add more fuel to the fire. So this is actually quite exciting for a potential continuation of the move here, with a lot of aggressive shorts in the market. And if we come to the liquidations page here on CoinGlass as well, and just scroll down over the last 4 hours, you can see all the shorts are the ones getting blown the heck out here. So short fuel, good momentum for BTC. We have a nice little recipe here for continuation into the low 30K territory. Forex Factory is going to show us here that we have some key economic data coming out. So on Wednesday specifically, we have the CPI coming out for the US. So this has previously been a market mover, but with CPI gradually coming down here month over month, this could be a bullish bit of data coming out on Wednesday, but we do need to hold our breath a little bit and maybe not take too many victory laps until this comes out. A big shock to the upside if CPI comes in extra hot. You know, we're going to get a hawkish Fed. You've also got some FOMC speakers here on Tuesday, that is today, and then we have the FOMC minutes coming out as well on Wednesday. Now a take here from Ryan Clark, who is one of the good traders on crypto Twitter, who has flipped his bias from bear to bull. So this is something to look out for on crypto Twitter. If you're following big traders and they aren't able to flip their bias when the data changes, they're not that good a trader. But this guy certainly is. And he says this about the economic data here. If the CPI comes in line or even slightly improved this Wednesday, I think it's going to be hard to quiet the chance for a new bull market starting. Stocks will probably make new yearly highs and crypto will as well. Just trade what is in front of you and don't get lost in the source. Good take there from Ryan. And if we just look at this as well, I thought this was super interesting. Just to think back to March of 2020, PTSD, just crazy levels back then. Everyone rushing to their exchanges. You know, I think I was on Coinbase back then, trying to dump my coins because I thought the world was about to end. And then I swiftly bought them back the next day. So as Elon Trades posted earlier, remember the fastest, biggest, most devastating crash in history from COVID in March 2020? That is it. It is just that little blip on the chart. So what does this show you? It just shows you that crypto gives you chance after chance after chance. You can come back from the dead in this industry so many times. And this is what makes you so bullish, the opportunities in this space. That is just now a spec on the chart. That was like $3,000. We're now at $30,000, a 10x from there if you were able to hold onto your braces and pray for better times. They certainly do come. Typically, you're waiting 4 years maximum. So a nice segue here into the 4-year cycles and 4-year halvings of Litecoin. So Litecoin plays the kind of second fiddle to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is gold, Litecoin is silver. So these kind of play first and second fiddle to one another. Litecoin did have a bigger positioning in the markets. It's currently ranked 13th, but it used to be right up there. But this one does get a huge amount of trading volume and has a lot of interest around it. So what we have here is a halving cycle, the same as Bitcoin, but on Litecoin. And this gives us a bit of a preamble as to what to expect for potentially the Bitcoin halving, or at least what we get here is a lot of data around the Litecoin halvings. This will be the third halving coming up for Litecoin in August. So currently 72 million coins are mined out of a total supply of 84 million. Now, over the last 30 days, Litecoin interest has started to really pick up here. And with Bitcoin breaking out there, you can see that from the Litecoin chart, it has broken out above $95. That was capping price, but no longer. So this would be a breakout trade on the horizon here with a fundamental catalyst. Litecoin themselves tweeted this out earlier, 120 days till the Litecoin halving, give or take, because these block times aren't always that accurate. So when is it specifically? 113 days, 10 hours and 58 minutes from now, if the block times do stay consistent. So this would be around the 2nd of August, or at least the first week of August in 2023. So not long ahead. So quick TLDR on the halving process for Litecoin in the purple here. As part of Litecoin's coin issuance, miners are rewarded a certain amount of Litecoins whenever a block is produced. And the block time is approximately 2.5 minutes. When Litecoin first started, 50 Litecoins per block were given as rewards to miners. Every 840,000 blocks are mined. Every 4 years, the block reward goes down by half. And this continues to happen until the block reward becomes 0. And that is by the year 2142. We'll probably all be long gone by then. Currently, the block reward is 12.5 and it will go down to 6.25 post this halving. So literally the same schedule as Bitcoin, but a bit quicker, earlier in time. So let's see what the halving effects have been for Litecoin here. So first and foremost, that silver line on the chart is going to be the halving territory around that first week in August. Current price around $96 US. But what has happened in the previous halvings? So we've got halving 2 here back in 2019. And what you can see from this is there's a big run up in the months preceding the halving, but it does actually top before the halving event. This one actually topped here, and that was a grand total of 49 days before. So 49 days before, it topped in the previous halving and then back to halving number 1. So this is all the data we have, just the third halving coming up here. Again, you can see from this, the silver line is the halving. It topped before the halving yet again, kind of sell the news event or traders front running the big event. So from that halving event, the peak was there. There's a big wick there around 28 days. So we're looking between a month to a month and a half from the previous halvings. Litecoin seems to top out. There's obviously other data to look at here. In that previous one in 2019, Bitcoin had a big run up into the summer and then started to really pull back around the same time that Litecoin started to pull back. So other things being equal, we do get a run up into the event. But if we just say that we're kind of in this territory here, we're just about breaking out from a kind of consolidation range. Litecoin had a big run up into the peak, took about a month there, but did over a 300% gainer. And then in halving number 2 over here, we started the run up. The kind of breakout territory I would suggest is around here, where it really started to, eclipse that consolidation from back then. And we had a run up of around 160% in a 98-day time frame. So quite a bit of a difference there between those previous ones. But what I would suggest here is that if we just look at the areas of kind of resistance and support, so I would say this wick high here could be a bit of an area that comes and gets tested around 180 bucks. Resistance used as support here, resistance, 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 gets tagged on this candle as a bit of support. And so this is the kind of confluence on the chart I'd be looking for. And so that is my LARP line on the chart here, a nice run up into the event. But a few weeks prior to the event, maybe up to a month or so, say something like this, 49 days out, a month and a half, we get the kind of peak for Litecoin around 180 bucks, a nice steep run up into it, and then a bit of a sell-off as the halving is about to happen. That truly would be history repeating itself for Litecoin. And as they say, history doesn't often repeat, but it does often rhyme. So my kind of Litecoin halving prediction here is a kind of 2x from this region up into the middle of May and then a retrace. We will come back to this as we approach closer to the halving time and see how accurate this has been. I'll save this on the chart right now. So Bitcoin over 30,000 US dollars right here, right now, looking pretty damn good with this breakout. Drop me a comment down below. Where do you see Bitcoin topping from here? Are we going to hit the monthly resistance? And also show me your Litecoin top targets pre the halving event in August. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.